What is up, boys? It is Caleb Hammett, aka the Drip King, and today I have a video that I am so excited to do. I'm going to be reacting to all of my face-offs from my true freshman season, and the reason why this video is so interesting is because all three of these games were played with a broken hand. So if you guys didn't know, I actually redshirted my freshman season because right before the first game of the year, I got slashed extremely hard in practice. And I didn't want to get an x-ray because I knew it was bad, and I had been waiting my whole entire life to play college lacrosse, so I did not want to miss any time. So I tried my best to bear through 3 games with a broken hand. After the third game, I needed to get an x-ray because something was not right. And believe it or not, I had a Bennett's fracture right on my thumb, which means the bone broke on the joint, and they really couldn't believe that I had played on that. And I ended up getting surgery and redshirting and playing this past year. So I've reacted to games from this past season, but you guys have never seen my face-offs from my freshman season, which was only 3 games. So I'm currently a redshirt sophomore next year, but this was supposed to be my freshman season. So the first game of the year was against Fairfield University, and I only got 3 reps. So we'll watch through those 3, and in total, we're going to watch 21 face-offs over the course of 3 games. I think the first game against Fairfield, I was 1 for 3. That was my first college game ever. And then the second game was against Drexel, and I think I was 3 for 6. And then the third game was my best game of the year against Albany. I think I was 7 for 12. And that's how you know the wrist was bad, because I had played my best game yet, got my most reps, and I literally had to shut it down for the season after because the pain was so bad. So let's get right into watching these games. So the funny thing about this first face-off of the game was I remember I had the worst adrenaline dump of all time, and I literally, I couldn't even feel my body. I got down, and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, absolutely panicking. It wasn't until late in the second quarter, and it was freezing out on top of that, so a combination of a lot of bad things, and just watch what I do here. I get absolutely demolished on the clamp. He pops it forward, and then I scrap it up as much as I can. And look at this. My wing almost picks up the ground ball here, just loses it, and then Fairfield ends up coming away with it. So I lost my first college face-off ever. And honestly, I remember walking to the sideline after this face-off and saying to myself, wow, I must really suck because I didn't even move on the clamp, and that was supposed to be what I thought I was good at least. So that was the first face-off of the game. And then I didn't come in for another 15 minutes or so. I think it was the third quarter. It was a 1-goal game. And at this point, it was snowing. It was absolutely freezing. And I was like, oh my God, I need to react somehow. So let's see what happens. I win the clamp, and then I go back. So right now, this was my first face-off win of my college career. As I was running off the field, I remember I was like, let's go! Screaming, so hyped up. Everyone was gassing me up on the sidelines. Love the boys for that. But that was my first college win. And at that point, I was like, okay, I feel better. And then I ended up getting the next face-off after that because I had won it. So at this point, I'm like, oh my God, this is my chance to win another one and keep going. So I go in there. I absolutely smoke the clamp again. But look at this. I try to go for this backdoor exit. I miss the ground ball. And then it's kind of just like a 50-50 scrap, and Fairfield ends up coming away with it. So those are my first 3 face-offs of my college career, and the only 3 face-offs I got in the first game of the season. So 33%, 1 for 3, not a great start to the year. All right, guys. So the Drexel game actually was a lot better than the last game because I had went 1 for 3 in the first game. I was not happy with that at all. I thought I should have done a lot better, but at the same time, it was only 3 face-offs, so it wasn't that many. So against Drexel, I was like, you know what? I need to play well this game, and when I go in and get my chance, I have to win, or I'm not going to play. So first face-off of the game against Drexel, I came in the second quarter, and the other kid went early. And I took the win. I'll gladly take it, but I remember I was so nervous because I started rolling because it was a long whistle, and thankfully, they called it on the other guy. So I started off the game 1 for 1. Second face-off of the game, I go in and I get absolutely smoked on the clamp. I try to scrap it up and Drexel gets it. So I'm 1 for 2 at this point. And the funny thing about that face-off is I remember with my hand being broken, I don't know what happened, but I was in excruciating pain after that face-off. It was so bad. but at this point I'm 1 for 2. Come back in for another face-off. I was getting more of an opportunity this game, and this one, guys, I swear on everything, the kid went so early and the ref somehow didn't call it. I usually don't throw my palms up, but just watch this. You can tell by my reaction. I didn't even move. I didn't even think there was any chance they were going to give it to him. I threw my hands up. I couldn't believe it. And at this point, I'm 1 for 3 again, like the first game. Now I come in for the next one, and I've been struggling against number 20 on Drexel, and I win the clamp on this one. I go to exit back. I miss the ground ball, kind of get pushed, and then it goes around for a scrap, and Drexel picks it up. So guys, we did not have a good start to this game by any means. All right, so here's my second face-off of the game against the same kid. And this one, I smoked the clamp, I win it back clean, and I got the ball. So I had a way better start than the first game. I was feeling really good, felt really good about my clamp. And then this was the last face-off I took right here. I go down, win the clamp, and then pop it out back. And I end up winning it clean to myself, so I was really happy I was able to get that win. Face-offs were a little bit out of order in that game, but I think I was 3 for 6 to finish that game. It was improvement from the first game because my reps doubled and my wins tripled. So I was really happy with that performance. I thought I could have played better than I did just because I missed some open ground balls. But I would say that was the biggest thing for me my freshman season was I was doing pretty good on the clamps, but my ground balls is where I was struggling the most. And like I said, my best game of the season, my freshman year, was my last game that I played. It was against Albany, and we actually lost this game 13-12. It was a really close game, but the funny thing about this game was before the game, I remember warming up with Ryan and Zach, the other two face-off guys, and I look at them and I go, guys, this is going to be my last game of the year. I literally can hardly even face off. The pain was so bad that I was literally warming up doing clamps and I could barely do it. The pain was like excruciating. You guys might say, then how did you go in and go 7 for 12? And honestly, it's something called adrenaline. I don't know how it was able to take over for that game, but when I tell you I was in so much pain after the game, it was atrocious. So guys, here's the first face-off of the game. This was the earliest I got in any of the games because I got in the first quarter. I think this was the second or third face-off of the game. Also, shout out to my coaches. They did a really good job handling me as a freshman because they didn't throw me right into the fire, but they let me build my confidence up over the first few games of the season. So I come in, and I am very excited that I was able to come in sooner in the game because I wasn't cold, and the only thing that I was worried about was my wrist. So I go in there, win the clamp, and then I win it back. And guys, this should have been my first goal of my career. He throws it down to me. I run all the way into the net, and look at this. Completely missed the net on like a 5-yard shot. But guys, let me tell you, that hurt my wrist and my thumb so much to shoot that. So I come out for the next face-off, and I remember being so mad on this one. I absolutely smoked the clamp, and I just left the ball. Look at me, I'm looking for the ball, and I left it right behind me. I come out for the next face-off of the game. My clamp is feeling really good, and I was like, wow, maybe I am like decent in lacrosse. Like I was playing really well against this kid. So this one, I go around in a circle, I pull the ball out, and I win it, and I also push it upfield. So at this point, I was feeling really confident because like this was the first time I had won like multiple face-offs in a row. And the one thing I was concerned about was how much my wrist hurt. It was hard to rotate, it was hard to pop the ball, it was hard to do so many things, but I kept playing, and I was feeling really quick, and of course, the first face-off of the second quarter, I go early. That was the last thing I wanted. And then the face-off after that, I win the clamp again clean, and then I go with my little right pop exit and win it clean. So I was feeling really good at this point. I was really happy that I was like, wow, I'm actually playing at the college level and performing. Like this was like a dream come true, and it didn't even feel real at this point. So this next face-off of the game, I was feeling really good on the clamp, and this one I won the clamp again, and he tried going for a counter, but they called a violation on him, so we got the win. At this point, I was cooking. I was really happy with how I was playing, and it was just, it felt like a blur. None of it really felt real. The following face-off after that, I go in, we tie up a little bit, but I win the clamp, I pop it out back, and I miss the ground ball, but my wing bails me out, so we get another win. They tried putting in another face-off guy because I was feeling it. So I go down, I win the clamp, and I go right to my wing. And shout out my boy Jeff. He now plays for the PLL Archers, absolute stud. But he was always so good on the wing for me. Miss playing with him. They put the other face-off guy back in. So my wing does an awesome job and we end up winning the face-off. And the thing that was so awesome about this was the fact that I lost the clamp and I still won the face-off, Alright guys, so of course as I was recording the end of the video, my phone shut off and I did not realize it. So I will play through the rest of the face-offs from that game. You guys will see I struggled towards the end of the game. I was missing ground balls, losing a few clamps, all that good stuff. But I did put in one face-off where I lost the clamp and I actually had one of the best plays of my college career. I was down on defense and there was a loose ball and I somehow went for this crazy toe drag ground ball, picked it up, ran it down the field and cleared it. But we ended up losing a really tough, close game. I think the worst thing about this was not only did we lose, but I was not happy whatsoever about my performance because I was in the locker room and I was like, yep, it's over. My hand is just done. I can't play anymore. So to kind of summarize what I was saying before was after the game, I went, saw the doctor, got an x-ray, was planning on practicing and all of that, but I got a call from the doctor the day before the Hofstra game, right before practice, and he goes, Caleb, you cannot play. Your hand is completely destroyed. You broke it on the joint. You need to get screws put in. And my moral of the story is that I thought it was over for me. I had lost my senior season. I was injured my junior season of high school. So I had already lost so much and now I was missing my whole freshman season. But guys, trust me, God has a plan for every single one of you. He had a plan for me and I didn't see it at the time, but looking back, everything happened for a reason. This past year, I had the best season of my life. My freshman year, I was 11 for 21 in my first 3 games, which is 52%. And then my sophomore season, which was this past year, I was 62%. I think I was 180 for 300 with 120 ground balls, something that was pretty good. And let me tell you, if it weren't for the plan from the man above and that injury I had, I don't think it ever would have happened. So God bless all you guys. Please hit the subscribe if you haven't done it. It helps me out so much. I'm doing this full time this summer, so I'm putting everything I have into this and trying to get videos out as much as I can. The support has been crazy. The Drip King stuff is so funny too, so you guys know I have the merch for that. If you haven't bought it yet, go check out the link in my description. It's only gonna be up for a few more days. So if you guys have some extra cash hanging around and you wanna rep some Drip King merch at your tournaments, go check the link in the description. But seriously, if you guys watch the video, drop a like, anything like that. I appreciate you guys so much. Love you guys. Drip King is out.